You really don't know how to pee? It's like, well, I've seen animals. ACOFAS, yes. So, hello, welcome back to my channel, or just welcome if you're new. My name is Victoria, and today I'm going to be doing an ACOFAS reading vlog, I guess is what I'm calling it. I've never actually done a reading vlog before. I'm not entirely sure how this works. I feel like I just like film myself reading, which is kind of funny because I'm like, why do you want to watch somebody read? But okay, here we are, babies. I still sound very ill. I do feel better. I was fighting a cold, if you didn't know. It just means my voice is like an octave lower and I sound like I smoke a pack a day of cigarettes. But it's fine, it's fine. And so I've got my copy of A Frost of Court and Starlight. A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J Maas. I'm very excited to read it. I'm still in my pajamas, so yeah, this will be like your secret insight into morning Victoria. This is a Darth Vader t-shirt because life is just better when you have Darth Vader on your t-shirt. So also I've got a coffee. You can see like the nice dichotomy that is me. Like we've got some Star Wars masculine clothing and then this like romantic little floral mug. Because why choose between the feminine and the masculine when you can just be an explosion of fun? So I'm going to begin reading. First of all though, can we just talk about this cover? Like how freaking beautiful is it? I don't know, that's all I really wanted to say, baby. All right, enough talking because I don't care, I just want to read it. That's gonna be the main problem with this, is like I'm gonna get so into it, I'm gonna like forget that I'm supposed to be talking to you and like commenting about stuff. Oh my gosh, baby! Look how beautiful it is! Oh my word. Stunning. Oh yeah, by the way, like this is just gonna be full of spoilers. Like there ain't no non-spoiler bit, so if you have not read this yet or you care about spoilers, like bye. Now would be a good time to leave because I'm just gonna be like reacting as I read, so there's no like proper reviewing or like general thoughts. This is just gonna be like reading it. So I suggest you come back later. Just ignore me while I die. I promise I sound worse than I am. It's just how much I love you though. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at how many books she's written. Like, okay, yeah, I know, we all know this, but like I've been here since Throne of Glass, and it was a new book no one had ever heard of, and here we are today. And she's got like enough to make a giant list, and I'm so proud of her, even though she probably doesn't care. To the readers who look up at the stars and wish. Oh my gosh, I'm already emotional. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. This is too much. It's too much. I need some coffee. Since I know somebody will inevitably ask, I don't think I can show you without spilling, but it's just black drip coffee, because I'm a real man. Black like my soul. Chapter 1, Pharaoh. Oh, look at the beautiful stars. Okay, like I'm actually gonna read this for real. But like half the fun of the reading is that you have this book, you know? I'm not one of those Kobo Kindle people because I love like the feel of it and like the very real presence of it and like the different decorations. Smelling the pages, it's nothing like that smell. And just like the feel. This is actually like the most fun book to hold I think I've ever held, because it has all the wonder of a hard copy, but it's so skinny, so I can like grab it and be like, yes, you know? I'm okay. I don't have a problem. All right, I'm gonna read this now. Go away. Come back later. Reese had died for it. 3 pages in and we're already getting emotion. It's just like no easing us in. Like Sarah's just like, oh yeah, remember that time when I killed off Reese and you were all miserable? Let's think about it. If you hear like weird noises, that's my dog pacing around and bumping into things. She's 20, so. Ooh, that's nice. All those Illyrians blasted out of the sky and falling to the earth as ashes. I mean, like depressing, but also like that's some good writing right there. Listen to Reese being a little feminist. So they meaning the females of the Illyrians, I believe. Their required tasks, whether old or young, remained the same: cooking, cleaning, child rearing, clothes making, laundry. There was honor in such tasks, pride and good work to be found in them, but not when every single one of the females here was expected to do it. And if they shirked those duties, either one of the half-dozen camp mothers or whatever males controlled their lives would punish them. It was like too real. You guys know I was raised in a house that was very like traditional. So it was like, Victoria, go help your mother in the kitchen. You go, Reese, baby. Why is there no Reese in real life? The only man I know that like actually has those like feminist views is already taken, and I'm like, fuck. Why? The struggle is real. Cassian and Nesta are not speaking to each other. Name Nessian, damn it! Although it's good, it means there's like more tension, so it's more opportunity to watch things happen. I'm not mad about this. Oh my gosh. So, you know in like fantasy books, how there's often like a romance between like an immortal being and a mortal, and the immortal being is always hundreds of years old and like the mortal girl is a teenager, but like nobody comments about it. It's just like, it's fine because they both look 17, so it's not creepy. And like now they're actually like calling themselves out for it. I love this. Reese is like, oh fuck, my mate is like 21, what am I doing? And Cassian's like, it's okay, like she chose you, it's fine, that's normal, that happens. And he's like, bro, like she's a child. And I'm like, yes, being self-aware is wonderful. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. They're hugging. Cassian and Reese are hugging. That's so emotional. Gathering me in an embrace so tight I could barely breathe. Aww. Bromance at its best. Oh my gosh. I can't. It's too beautiful. Apparently there's more monsters lurking in the mountains. The most cunning of them, the most ancient, they had found ways to hide, to emerge on moonless nights to feed. So we've got this chapter from Cassian's perspective, and he's thinking about his mother, and it's like the sweetest, saddest thing ever, and I'm just like, my baby, I love you. You can always tell a man's character by how he thinks about his mother. As if I didn't need more reasons to love you. So my dog just puked all over the floor. She's like 20, so she's having a lot of trouble like digesting her food and like drinking and basically doing normal dog things. So anyway, long story, we might have to put her down soon, but she like ate her breakfast and then just like all over, and like not even like watery, like slightly digested, just like large hunks. And so yeah, I just got back from cleaning that up. Aren't you glad you knew that? So now I can get back to this book. Back to Cassian and his mama. He trains the Illyrian females because of his mother. It's so beautiful. I just love Cassian. Possibly because I feel like I am Nesta, so I'm just like, my baby. Everyone's like, I want Reese, and I'm like, meh, help. Because this book is so short, I kind of feel like it's like, you have like the Ice Age series, like the kids show, or Shrek or something, and they do like Halloween spin-offs. I feel like this is the Christmas special spin-off. It's like the half-hour version of the full-length movie that they release on a holiday. And here we come to the reason why, personally, I prefer Throne of Glass and Aelin. I mean, as I love both series almost equally, but like, Feyre is just so freaking whiny and emotional, and like, okay, that's really mean, but like, I'm not like that at all. So like, the same reasons that Nesta finds her annoying, I find her annoying. And she's just like out here being like, oh, and I'm so grateful. I used to not be able to eat, but now I can do this, and I must give to charity, and I'm so happy, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's great for you, but like, I don't care. Does anyone else find it unbelievable that Amren is also heterosexual? It's the same problem, not really a problem, but the same thing with Menon, I found, is like these crazy supernatural ladies that, you know, eat men for breakfast, and then suddenly they're like undone from this man, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, you're my soulmate, I love you. And I'm like, I just don't believe it. Like, it's just weird. It would be like if I wanted to date the chicken I ate for dinner, even though I don't eat chicken because I'm a vegetarian, but like, you see what I'm saying? It's just weird. They was all like, eat the food first, and Reese is like, I'll eat you after. Does anybody else wonder why these books are marketed to teens? Like, I love them, but like, when this is next to their most recent, like Percy Jackson, I'm like, not that if you're 13 you can't read these, but like, it would be like marketing an R-rated movie to 13-year-olds. I'm like, I just don't know if I feel like that's okay, you know? Just a little inappropriate, perhaps. Perhaps. Fae women only get their period twice a year. I don't care how bad it is. That's fucking awesome. Further reasons why it would just be better. Really enjoying how we're getting the various perspectives, but it's a little bit jarring how like Reese and Feyre are in first person, and then like Mor and Cassian and them are in third. Asriel's first line, the Illyrians are pieces of shit. So cute, baby. Oh my god. Yes! So, most of you know that I ship Elaine and Asriel, not Elaine and Lucian. And here is confirmation that he loves her, I'm certain. So Reese is like, Lucian is away right now. As's brows rose. Where? I winked at him. You're my spy master, shouldn't you know? Az crossed his arms, face as elegant and cold as the legendary dagger at his side. I don't make a point of looking after his movements. Why? Not a flicker of emotion. He's Elaine's mate. I waited. It would be an invasion of her privacy to track him. To know when and if Lucian sought her out, what they did together. Are you sure about that? I asked quietly. They so love each other. Confirmation. You can't take this from me. I don't care if it's ambiguous. He clearly is in love with her. Okay, so like Azriel's asking Rhys if he has to get Nesta and Elaine presents. It's like the quintessential introvert response. Like, do I have to? I don't know what to get them. People are weird. I don't understand. It's so awkward. Oh, I love him so much. He's like all the awkwardness I feel all the time. Nessian gold. He'd seen Nesta in that particular pose too. He'd called it her I will slay my enemies pose. Cassian had named about 24 poses for Nesta at this point, ranging from I will eat your eyes for breakfast to I don't want Cassian to know I'm reading smut. So I'm halfway through this book by now. The biggest plot point of this is that they don't know what to get each other for winter solstice, and I like don't even care. like under any other circumstances, I don't know what to get my friends for Christmas is not a good story, but in this case, I'm like, I just love it. I'm like, yes, I care what you get each other, and this is very important. I also have to acknowledge that the friendship between Cassian and Feyre is like one of my favorite things ever. Like this bit when she's like, dumping a bunch of trees at my feet is really how you say hello these days. A little time in that Illyrian camp and you forget all your manners. Cassian was on me in a second, hoisting me off the ground to twirl me until I was going to be sick. I beat his chest, cursing at him. Cassian set me down at last. What'd you get me for solstice? I smacked his arm. A heaping pile of shut the hell up. It's just wonderful. I'm like, yes. This is how all friendships should operate. A heaping pile of shut the hell up. And then they get really drunk and they decorate for like winter solstice. And then Azriel comes in and fixes it because there's shit. And he's just like the good little elf that's like, we must make sure this actually looks appropriate. I think you little clowns have some proper adult supervision. And then Amryn comes in this like fluffy fur coat and Cassian's like, you look like an angry snowball. The angry snowball narrowed her eyes at him. Careful, boy. Azriel emerged from the sitting room, a glass of wine in hand and wings tucked back to reveal his fine yet simple black jacket and pants. I felt, more than saw, my sister go still as he approached. Her throat bobbed. See? See? They love each other. I know it. Oh my gosh, pull it together, Victoria. Emmett's like learning how to eat like a human and she's like, do you know how bad it is to have to relieve yourself everywhere? She's like, I should have been a man because I can just pull it out everywhere. And then Moore's like, you really don't know how to pee. And Emmett's like, well, I've seen animals. And Cassian's like, tell me you know how a toilet works. And then she's like, I know how to sit on a toilet. Oh my gosh. I think this is my favorite scene in the entire series thus far. God, I'm like tearing up a little bit. This bit when she's in this shop and this weaver has created this like black tapestry with some silver thread and she calls it like hope, and then the weaver's like, or Feyre asks like, how do you keep creating despite the pain that you felt? And she's like, I have to, or it was all for nothing. I have to create or I will crumple up with despair and never leave my bed. I have to create because I have no other way of voicing this. It hurts, but if I were to stop, if I were to let the spindle go silent, then there would be no hope shining in the void. I'm just like, it's so beautiful because like, I just feel like that's in so many ways like why I create. Like sometimes when things get hard and like life seems just full of pain, it's like, we have to fight for those moments of hope and beauty. Sometimes I don't know if it's worth it, but it's like, what other choice do you have, you know? Otherwise it's just pain and emptiness, and then the things that you felt don't mean anything. So I don't know. Now I'm like getting all deep and depressing and I didn't want to, but like, I really like that. Speaks to me, welling up a little bit, but like, it's fine. It's fine. Sarah breaking us as usual. Pull yourself together. So they're about to partake in winter solstice evening celebrations, and there's been all this built up about Nesta not going, right? So I'm sitting here being like, she better fucking like show up. Even though it's implied that she's not coming, I'm like, this book needs the drama of Nesta. So like, get your ass here, girl. Aww, and Elaine makes Feyre's birthday cake and she paints the same design for all the sisters that was on the dresser thingy. And then she's like, I painted you in this order because you're the foundation and the one who lifts us up, and you always have been, and it's so beautiful. Why? So Elaine's laughing and it's all cute, right? And then there's a knock at the door and it's fucking Nesta. Yeah, I've been waiting for this moment. And I love how it's called the onslaught of Nesta. I'm like, I would love to have that kind of commanding presence where people are like, oh, the onslaught of Victoria has arrived. Azriel's blushing at Moore's present, which is just a towel with his initials on it. But I'm like, no, you're not allowed. And Feyre's all like, I looked away at the heat and yearning in his eyes. And I'm like, no, you're supposed to love Elaine, stop. Okay, cutest scene in this whole book is when Elaine gives Azriel a present and she's like, it's a powder to mix with drink. And they're all like, what? And she's like, for the headaches everyone always gives you since you rub your temples so often. And then they're all just like awkwardly silent, like what? And then Azriel starts howling like he's never laughed before. I'm like, see, they're just soulmates. I don't care about the mating bond, it's too perfect. So Nesta's leaving the Christmas party, oh sorry, winter solstice party. And she's like taking off and Feyre and her have an awkward moment. And then Cassian goes storming out and I'm like, yes, yes! I live for Nessian. He'd had enough. Oh, I just can't even wait. Like, you don't even understand. Please just make out and make 6 children. He's like so angry and like ready to ream her out. And then he like catches up with her and he's just like, I'll walk you home. He got her a present. And she's all like, I don't want it. And he's like, well, I'm a smirking, sexy little monkey, so whatever. Take it, bitch. Aww, and she's all like, I don't want anything from you. And he's like, are you sure about that, sweetheart? And then he's thinking about when he was all like, my one regret is that we didn't have enough time. And I'm like, oh, so beautiful. He's all like, I don't care. And I'm like, yes, you do. It's so beautiful. The drama. She ripped her hand out of his grip and stared him down, a mighty vengeful queen. He waited panting for the verbal lashing to begin, for her to shred him to ribbons. But Nesta only stared at him, nose crinkling, stared, snorted, and walked away, as if he were nothing, as if he weren't worth her time or effort. I'm like, damn girl. Poor guy, he's like broken. Just a lowborn Illyrian bastard. Oh, my baby. But I love how mean they are to each other. It's like perfect. Like, obviously, I want them to figure it out. I'm like, you're idiots. But also, I'm like, the drama. Oh, and he throws her present into the river because she didn't want it. And he's like, oh my gosh. It hurts me. Please just be together already. Nesta's like alone in her apartment. She feels nothing. And she's like, she drew her knees up to her chest and stared into the dimness. Still the silence raged and echoed around her. Still she felt nothing. So I feel like what I really like about Nesta and like what I relate to the most is like she seems like really unemotional compared to the rest of them, but it's like very different and it goes like much deeper and it's very private and like kind of angry and numb. And like that's how I get when I'm upset. Like I feel like Feyre and Elaine are like more inclined to like cry and like loose it all the time as like a ready fountain. So that's like in some ways like healthier because they can actually cope. But like Nesta's method of coping is to just like shut it all down until you just are numb to everything. And it's like, I like having that kind of a character because, like I said, that's usually what happens to me when I'm going through a hard time. So it's like, it's nice to see it represented and be like, okay, so I'm not insane. Like, this is a normal human response for some humans. And obviously it's not healthy and it needs help, but like it's validating, I guess. So Feyre is giving Rhys some like final gift and like speaking into his mind, and it's all very ambiguous as to what it is. And he's all like, are you sure? And he's about to cry. So I'm like, 100% she just said, let's have a child. But like, it's not confirmed yet. So I'm gonna keep reading, but like, I'm calling it right now. They're gonna have a baby, especially because Sarah's having a baby. So I'm like, 100% that's what's gonna happen. Just watch. And now they're doing it, you nasty. Ha! The image of my gift remained between us, shimmering as bright as any star. That beautiful blue-eyed, dark-haired boy the bone carver had once shown me. That promise of a future. Called it! They're having a baby. But they did say it's really hard to conceive, so it could be years, which means I don't think she'll be pregnant in the next book, but probably at the end of the next series. I'm feeling very vindicated right now. So when Rhys goes back and visits Tamlin for the second time, and they don't exactly like have a bro moment, but there's like a hint of forgiveness, and Tamlin's just utterly broken, and I'm like, I do feel a bit of sympathy for the guy. Like, he was abusive, but like, he was suffering from really bad PTSD, and not that that at all excuses what he did, but like, I don't think he's purely evil, and he gets so much hate, and I'm like, he's human. I mean, he's not human, but you get what I mean. Like, people do really shitty things, and that doesn't mean that there's nothing redeemable in them. I appreciate that, and I hope that he does get a proper redemption arc in the later stories. I'm not trying to excuse his terrible behavior and his many mistakes and abusive tendencies, but like, he is redeemable, I feel. I think everyone's redeemable, and Tamlin is no exception. She's remembering what the Suriel said to her. He's all like, a request, leave this world a better place than how you found it. And I was reminded of the last book, and I'm just like, words to live by. Like, seriously, it's so beautiful and wise, and like, oh, I'm getting all the feels right now. Less than 10 pages left, being like, why is it so beautiful and it has to end? And like, Sarah, you're just so great. Like, thank you. Aw, so I just finished it, and I really like that it ends with their little quote thing, to the stars who listen and to the dreams that are answered. And it's just so beautiful, and Feyre started an art school that's free for people that want to cope with their trauma, and it's just so beautiful. Aww. Oh, and there's a sneak peek of the next book. Oh my gosh, also, I didn't even notice, the back page has more art, and you know, not to be like one of those weirdos that reads into everything, but like 100% the fact that we've got the two sisters and then the two like Illyrians just suggests to me that since Nesta and Cassian are a thing, clearly also it means that Elaine and Azriel are also a thing, just saying. So Lucian can GTFO, because it's gonna be Az, and anybody who disagrees with me is just blatantly incorrect. So yeah, I've now completed A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I have to say, for a book that had absolutely zero plot, it was still excellent. Like, how is it that she makes me care so much about the characters that pretty much nothing can be going on in their lives and I still care? Like, in no other book would choosing what you want to eat for a meal, or like wandering the street, or like picking out a birthday present, like that would not be news, and I would not give a fuck. But like, somehow in this case, I'm like, yes, I would love to know every detail of your lives. Please tell me. So I really enjoyed it. I did hear some things online where people were saying it wasn't that good. It was just overly hyped because it's a Sarah J Maas book, but I thought it was great. Like I said, there wasn't really a plot, but it was a beautiful kind of in-between book, because it's really just about healing and relationships and like finding hope in the midst of like the aftermath. And so it's kind of what you need after the epic war at the end of the last one. Like, the next series is probably gonna have its own series of conflicts, well, it would have to, and things are gonna get dark again. So this is like a really wonderful like in between. Like, yeah, there's sad moments because they've all lost and they've all suffered, but like overall it's just this beautiful story of the important things in life, like finding hope and finding friendship and finding love in the midst of suffering and pain. So yeah, I really liked it. It's a story of love and happiness and finding peace and hope, and so yeah, it really does just make you feel good inside. So would highly recommend. I guess this will end my reading vlogs. I'm going to be doing a live show on May 17th at 1 p.m. PST, I think. That will be confirmed. Here's the problem, is like, I'm doing this live show with some other creators, and we live all over the world, so we're trying to find a time that works for everyone. And so that's the unofficial time, May 17th. Put it in your calendars. And we're going to be talking about this book, doing more of a proper analysis, actually answering some questions and talking about our favorite bits, what we expect for the next series, and obviously taking viewer questions. So come out to that and comment, send in your questions, and yeah, I'm super stoked about it. I recommend this. Read it ASAP. All right, as always, I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!